Adam Kownacki is set to take on Gerald Washington on January the 26th, 2019. And this will take place in Brooklyn, presumably at the Barclays Center. Now, most people who I've seen reacting to the news of this fight are picking Kownacki to win. And I have to go along with that. I'm picking him to win too. He is very similar to his longtime friend, Gerald Miller, in terms of his style and his boxing approach. He doesn't appear to be as good as Miller. He's not as big. And I don't think he's quite as skilled, actually. I don't think he has as many facets to his game as Miller has. But essentially, it's the same thing you get with Miller. Coming forward, relentless pressure, very high volume of punches, seemingly a pretty good chin. He did get steadied a couple of times by Charles Martin in his last fight. But other than that, there's been no reason to suspect that his punch resistance is anything but solid. So, yeah, I'll also be picking Kownacki to win this fight. Not because Gerald Washington doesn't have the physical tools to beat him. He absolutely does. It's just that whenever Gerald Washington has been required to show a strong will in a fight, he's come up short. I don't want to say that Gerald Washington is a coward at all. Not at all. This guy's never quit in a fight. But he hasn't shown the ability to impose his will in stressful situations. In the Amir Mansour fight, once Mansour started applying pressure in the second half of that fight, Gerald Washington let it get away from him. A smaller man coming at him, Gerald Washington didn't impose himself on that smaller man. Even when he fought Eddie Chambers, another smaller man, yeah, he outboxed Chambers and there were no problems. But Chambers is really little more than a blown-up cruiserweight. And Gerald Washington was fighting him as if he was fighting a prime Mike Tyson. And then, most disturbingly of all, was the way he went out against Gerald Miller. After the first round, he just resigned himself to defeat. And I know he hung in there. He didn't quit on his stool or anything like that. Did he? From what I can remember, he didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. Did he quit or did his corner pull him? I can't remember. Let's just, for the sake of this video, me say that he was pulled out by his corner or the referee stopped it. So I haven't seen any instances where he's actually outright quit. But like I say, he doesn't seem to have the will to impose himself in there. He's a big man, an athletic man, a man who's pretty well schooled. You know, Gerald Washington doesn't throw wild, sloppy shots. Everything is quite neat and tidy. He has all the physical attributes to be a decent level heavyweight, but his internal fortitude just doesn't seem to be there. Kownacki, on the other hand, he's not body beautiful. He's not a sculpted 6'6" Adonis like Gerald Washington is. He's not the athlete that Washington is. He's much more, as I say, like his friend Miller. A chubby guy, but a guy with a lot of intensity. A guy with a strong will. I mean, we saw that in the fight against Charles Martin. You know, he had to walk through some pretty decent shots from old Charles Martin. Mr. I walk the earth like a god Martin. Mr. I look like I belong in a rap video Martin. In a trap video or something. That's what he looked like, innit? So, yeah. He's got a strong enough will so far. And I think he'll be able to impose that will on Gerald Washington. With that being said, I certainly don't think Kownacki is as good as Miller. And so I do see it being a bit more competitive. It wouldn't shock me if Gerald Washington did win, by the way. Okay? I definitely see it being more competitive than the Miller fight. But ultimately, I reckon Kownacki's going to get the job done based upon the lack of will that I've seen on behalf of Gerald Washington. If he just had a bit more fire in his belly, he could be winning fights like this. That's the way I see it. You know, maybe he'll step up to the plate this time. Maybe Gerald Washington will finally produce some meanness in there. And if he does, this fight's here for him to win. We'll see. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.